see here today at the Holy Trinity ground speaks volume. From Onitsha in Anambra State, I'm Sheung Okimbaloye.
While the heat is on, the umpire in Saturday's poll, INEC, is assuring the people of Anambra State of free and fair elections. One of the things that the electoral body is introducing to ensure a hitch-free poll is a new security feature to the voting cards. The INEC chairman, Professor Atahiru Jega, told concerned parties and candidates that the features were introduced to ensure that the elections in the state go smoothly.
INEC officials, members of political parties and their candidates for the governorship election in Anambra State come November 16th, all gathered here to meet with the INEC chairman, Professor Atahiru Jega, who took time to explain the plans to ensure that the elections are free and fair. Some of the plans include codification of the ballot boxes and foolproof voters' cards.
Our ballot papers are color-coded. So you cannot move ballot papers from one ward, for example, to another, or from one local government to another. We have also codified our ballot boxes. I will advise political parties that one of the first things you do once you send your agents to a polling unit is to take down the number of the ballot box. There will not be an addendum registered. So there cannot be a polling unit that will say that there is a list of people who are missing on the register.
The Inspector General of Police was also in Oka advising the electorate, parties and their candidates on the appropriate steps to take during the elections.
Do what if you break the law, this time around we shall break you. Don't take your walking stick and say, I'm an old man, I'm going to vote. Don't take your umbrella and say it is sunny. We all look at them as instruments that can be used.
As expected, the participants had several concerns that needed clarification.
On our part in Accra, we will abide 100% with all the electoral laws to ensure that we have a free and fair election.
If we should do the right thing, we should remember that Anambra State belongs to all of us and do things the right way they are supposed to go. I mean, nobody will be in any position to start admonition or start chasing anybody to any place.
My worry is I don't know what the police have done with the previous reports on election, especially in terms of identifying and putting in place what is to be done with the violent areas.
Perhaps this may be the final meeting of all stakeholders. INEC has, however, promised that all issues of logistics have been taken care of.
We have taken judicial notice of that problem and we are doing everything humanly possible. But please do remember that we equally need the cooperation and partnership of the people of the area.
We've identified the challenges, we've done our best. We expect to see remarkable improvements in terms of the commencement of time of election, which is 8 o'clock, commencement of accreditation 8 o'clock, up to 12 o'clock. By 12:30, voting should start. People should be on the queue for the commencement of voting.
Many will be watching to see how these newly introduced techniques will enhance the electoral process in Anambra State and in Nigeria in general.
Time for a break now. When we return, the United States officially labels Boko Haram a foreign terrorist organization.
And the federal government welcomes the idea. We'll tell you more about that and other stories after the break.
Every day you invite us to your home. Now we invite you to our homepage. Join Channels TV on social media. Hang out with us on Google Plus/Channels Television. Follow us on Twitter.com/Channels TV_NG. Friend us on Facebook.com/Channels Forum. And don't forget to like our page. That's not all. Subscribe to our YouTube channels. YouTube.com/Channels Web to get constant video updates and news and events in Nigeria and around the world. ChannelsTV.com, the news at your fingertips.
Welcome back. To get more details on the elections in Anambra State and other programs, just go to our website. It's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, visit channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows Phone from their respective stores.
And you want to interact with Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. If you have a picture or video to share with us, all you need to do is download the Channels TV Android app on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to share your report, pictures, and videos. It's now a crime under U.S. law to provide material support or have any business or financial dealings with Nigeria's terrorist groups Boko Haram and Ansaru. The long-awaited proclamation by the U.S. government came yesterday as it designated the two as foreign terrorist organizations. In a statement by the U.S. State Department, they described the move as an important step to assist Nigeria root out violent extremism. By this decision, relevant U.S. agencies are to block all business and financial transactions with Boko Haram and its allies. Boko Haram began its insurgency in 2009 and has been blamed for thousands of deaths in the country, especially in the northeast. The other group, Ansaru, which is an offshoot of Boko Haram, was formed in 2012 and has vowed to attack Western interests in defense of Muslims worldwide. The U.S. had earlier demonstrated reluctance to declare the group as foreign terrorist organizations because it perceived them as posing only a domestic threat.
Meanwhile, the federal government is excited with the decision by the U.S. state government to brand the two insurgent groups as foreign terrorist networks. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mohammed Adoke, told reporters in Abuja that the stance is a step in the right direction and thanked the U.S. for partnering with Nigeria to stamp out terrorism in the country. He encouraged other superpowers to follow the steps of the U.S. government in checking terrorism in any part of the world.
Even as the federal government welcomes the U.S. designation of the two groups as terrorist organizations, a worrisome refugee report is coming from the United States as the fight against insurgency forces people in the troubled northeast to flee the country. A UN agency says the offensive against Boko Haram has pushed nearly 40,000 refugees over its northern border into Niger in a drive that is straining food supplies in the drought-prone country. The UN Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs says in its latest monthly report that of a total of 37,332 refugees, nearly 29,000 are officially Niger nationals and the rest are Nigerians. The United Nations estimates in June that there were 6,000 refugees from Nigeria, but the figure has since soared as President Jonathan has stepped up attacks on Boko Haram militants. According to the UN, these figures, 3 times above the level the humanitarian workers were planning for, give an indication of the difficulties of developing a humanitarian response to the problem.
In the meantime, the Senate has rescinded its earlier resolution to invite the Minister of Aviation to brief lawmakers at plenary on the state of the aviation sector and the high number of plane crashes and aviation accidents in the country. The Minister of Aviation was supposed to appear before the Senate at plenary today to explain the reason behind the series of air mishaps in the country. The Senate Minority Leader, Gani Usulomon, said lawmakers had reached a decision at an executive session last week to rescind the Senate resolution to invite the minister. The Minister of Aviation will now appear before the Senate Committee on Aviation instead.
3 critical issues appear to be on the priority list of the National Human Rights Commission. 1. They are the alleged detention of Mrs. Clara Chime by her husband, Governor of Enugu State Sullivan Chime, the Akpo killings, and the alleged killing of Professor Festus Iyayi by the convoy of the Kogi State government. Now, these cases will be considered by Commission's Council on the